Good morning, everyone. I believe today, December 20th, is the shortest day, or almost the shortest day, and longest tonight will be the longest night. And if I'm 24 hours off on that, please forgive me. Anyway, in honor of this terrible year that we've all been suffering through, and some of us actually didn't make it through. Uh, I'd like to get just a little poetic because yesterday I got this beautiful volume of the Equinox, volume number one, or volume one, number 6, which contains the Rites of Elusiss, which are 7 planetary rituals that were written by Aleister Crowley to be performed publicly. And actually, when he produced them in London, they were relatively well received. And Constance and I, over the years, the Rites of Elusiss were a very, very big part of our magical life and our lodge magical life. And we mounted the whole series a number of times, and we're very happy and proud and privileged to be part of the resurrection of the rites. And they've been performed all over the world in numerous ways, formal and informal, public and non-public. And our good friends up in Seattle have even turned them into a lavishly produced and publicly performed rock opera. But I thought, the Rites of Elusiss contain Crowley poetry, but they also contain poetry from other poets that Crowley admired. And the idea for each of the 7 rites was not so much to entertain, not so much to inform or educate the audience, but to evoke a trance, to evoke a specific kind of altered consciousness in the viewer, the observer. So in other words, to make them high, inspire them in a specific way, and 7 specific ways corresponding to the 7 macrocosmic sephira on the tree of life. So in other words, Crowley incorporated poetry to inspire, to put the audience in a certain reverie. And he didn't care whether it was his poetry or somebody else's. So I'm going to read 3 poems from the Rites of Elusiss that resonate very, very personally with Constance and myself, because for so many years we recited these in public in the environment of a Rite of Elusiss. And because today is the shortest day of the year, and because darkness has overshadowed this entire dreadful, dreadful year, and we all would like to see it change. We'd all like to see the sun come back into our lives. So I'm going to read 3 specific poems. One from the Rite of Saturn, the one that's supposed to invoke in us the trance of melancholy and sorrow and Saturnian bliss, one from the right of Mars and one from the right of Jupiter. And hopefully we can, in our own little way, induce a more positive trance in all of us. Let's start with the darkness. This is from James Thompson's City of Dreadful Night. And it is the sort of the climax poem in the Rite of Saturn. At the end of it, Saturn actually commits suicide on stage or behind a veil. Now, when Saturn commits suicide, it's not the same as people committing suicide. Saturn is number 3 on the tree of life in the supernal triad. There will not be a manifested universe as long as Saturn doesn't commit suicide. The rites won't begin. So, in a way, it is like the fall of number 3, the supernal triad, into Jupiter will be the next one, into the rest of the tree of life, and a manifested existence, manifested consciousness as we know it. So it's meant to be depressing. So we'll start there. O melancholy brothers, dark, dark, dark. O battling in black floods without an ark. O spectral wanderers of unholy night. My soul has bled for you these sunless years, with bitter blood drops running down like tears. Oh, dark, 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 withdrawn from joy and light. My heart is sick with anguish for your bale. Your woe hath been my anguish. Yea, I quail and perish in your perishing unblessed. And I have searched the heights and depths, the scope of all our universe, with desperate hope to find some solace for your wild unrest. And now, at last, authentic word I bring, witnessed by every dead and living thing, good tidings of great joy for you, for all. There is no God, no fiend with names divine made us and tortures us. If we must pine, it is to satiate no being's gall. It was the dark delusion of a dream that living person, conscious and supreme, whom we must curse for cursing us with life, whom we must curse because the life he gave could not be buried in the quiet grave, could not be killed by poison or by knife. This little life is all we must endure. The grave's most holy peace is ever sure. We fall asleep and never wake again. Nothing is of us but the moldering flesh, whose elements dissolve and merge afresh in earth, air, water, plants, and other men. We finish thus, and all our wretched race shall finish with its cycle, and give place to other beings with their own time doom. Infinite aeons ere our kind began, infinite aeons after the last man hath joined the mammoth in earth's tomb, and womb. We bow down to the universal laws, which never had for man a special clause of cruelty or kindness, love or hate. If toads and vultures are obscene to sight, if tigers burn with beauty and with might, is it by favor or by wrath of fate? All substance lives and struggles evermore, through countless shapes continually at war, by countless interactions interknit. If one is born at a certain day on earth, all times and forces tended to that birth. Not all the world could change or hinder it. I find no hint throughout the universe of good or ill, of blessing or of curse. I find alone necessity supreme. With infinite mystery, abysmal, dark, unlighted ever by the faintest spark, for us, the flitting shadows of a dream. Oh, brothers of sad lives, they are so brief. A few short years must bring us all relief. Can we not bear these years of laboring breath? But if you would not this poor life fulfill, lo, you're free to end it when you will, without fear of waking after death. And that's where Saturn blows out the light and you hear a shot. Okay. Please don't turn off your camera yet. We got to get out of that, okay? Let's turn to, let's see what's the next one is here. Let's do the Rite of Mars. This is a poem from Shelley. And this one is delivered by the character Sol in Aries, or the sun in Aries. Now, that last one was dark, but it was above the abyss, okay? There is no duality above the abyss. Saturn can give birth to himself by committing suicide. There are no two sides to any coin up there. But now, the sun is getting ready to be born. Now, it's from the Rite of Mars, but the Rite of Mars, the climax of the Rite of Mars drips down into number 6 on the Tree of Life. So Mars is number 5. So at the end of Mars, the sun comes up. And that's what we're looking for, guys. And this is a wonderful little poem by Shelley. The world's great age begins anew. The golden years return. The earth doth like a snake renew her winter weeds outworn. Heaven smiles and faiths and empires gleam like wrecks of a dissolving dream. A brighter Hellas rears its mountains from waves serener far. A new Peneus rolls his fountains against the morning star. Where fairer Tempes bloom, there sleep young Cyclades on a sunnier deep. A loftier Argo cleaves the main, fraught with a latter prize. Another Orpheus sings again, and loves and weeps and dies. A new Ulysses leaves once more Calypso for his native shore. Oh, write no more the tale of Troy. If earth's death scroll must be, nor mix with lion rage the joy which dawns upon the free. Although a subtler sphinx renew riddles of death Thebes never knew. Another Athens shall arise, and to remoter time bequeath like sunset to the skies the splendor of its prime, and leave, if not so bright may live, all earth can take or heaven can give. Saturn and love their long repose shall burst more bright and good than all who fell, than one who rose, than many unsubdued. Not gold, not blood their altered hours, but votive tears and symbol flowers. Oh, cease. Must hate and death return? Cease. Must men kill and die? Cease. Drain not to its dregs the urn of bitter prophecy. The world is weary of the past. Oh, might it die, or rest at last. And the final little poem for today from The Rite of Jupiter. And this is the sun himself, the sun Dionysus speaking himself. And this is Crowley's poem. I bring ye wine from above, from the vats of the storied sun, for every one of ye love and life for every one. Ye shall dance on hill and level, ye shall sing in hollow and height, in the festal mystical revel the rapturous bacchanal rite. The rocks and the trees are yours, and the waters under the hill. By the might of that which endures the holy heaven of will, I kindle a flame like a torrent to rush from star to star. Your hair as a comet's horrent, ye shall see things as they are. I lift the mask of matter. I open the heart of man, for I am of force to shatter the caste that hideth Pan. Your loves shall lap up slaughter, and dabbled with roses of blood, each desperate darling daughter shall swim in the fervid flood. I bring ye laughter and tears, the kisses that foam and bleed, the joys of 1,000,000 years, the flowers that bear no seed. My life is bitter and sterile. Its flame is a wandering star. Ye shall pass in pleasure and peril across the mystical bar that is set for wrath and weeping against the children of earth. But ye, in singing and sleeping, shall pass in measure and mirth. I lift my wand and wave you through hill to hill of delight. My rosy rivers lave you in innermost lustral light. I lead you, Lord of the maze, in the darkness, free of the sun. In spite of spite that is days, we are wed, we are wild, we are one. And in the rite of Jupiter, the lights go out and the company joins in a universal dance. Well, I hope that little series, that little sequence was at least entertaining this morning. That's where we're going to leave it for today. Enjoy this shortest day of the year. And if it isn't, enjoy tomorrow, the shortest day of the year and the longest day of night. And the sun will return. You have my word on it. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love's the law, love underway.